Alright, so we are back. Try and take a look and see what we need to do. And it seems like I'm trying to see what's going on with my stream here. I can't actually tell what's going on with my stream quite yet. It's just getting it started up. I did not get to take my nap yet. Somebody's still awake, which kind of kills the ability to for me to nap. And that's fine. You know, it's okay. For some reason, my YouTube is not wanting to cooperate with me here. Um, Actually, Chrome in general is not cooperating with me, so I'm gonna kill it. I can't tell if anybody's watching or not. I can't see anything. Can't do anything. So we're just gonna reopen Chrome and hopefully. Hopefully this will actually work. Okay, so trying to get into where I can actually see everything, see what's going on, see if people are chatting, anything like that. So we've been working on this now for quite some time. Um, so we got about 6 hours, 6 hours in it so far, and we got a box. It's a very fancy box. It's a very expensive box, but it is just a box so far. Um, so things that we need to do still, we need a cockpit up here somewhere on this end. We've got lots of room in here, and actually we are going to add more brakes. Yeah, we're just going to stack, like, I don't know, maybe another 16. I think we can actually fit at least another 7 onto the end of this to fill that area up with brakes on each side. There'll be another 14 brakes that give us 30 Atmo brakes. Would be a good number, I think. Because we want enough brakes to be able to just basically glide down to the planet. So things I want to work on real quick before we go any further. This wall being 2 voxels thick on this end is a little bit frustrating. And then this is all 2 voxels thick, which I mean this lines up, right? It's just the fact that I know it's 2 voxels thick because we use the line tool for literally everything on the sides of the ship. And it bugs me, right? So we're going to stop building for a second. We're going to go over here and we're going to get our blocks that we need. Oops, that was not the button I meant to press. I meant to push this one. And I don't know if you know this or not, but you can just drop things up onto the tab to move things now. And I need a bite, so I'm gonna be muting and eating every once in a while here. All right. So, this is a lie. Don't worry about that for a minute. We're going to move these down. Oops. Okay, so 2. So it's now at Z11. And this one is at 12, so we're just going to go Z11. And about as close as possible. And these will be at Z11 as well. So, okay, 73, 63, 11. Because we're going to need to... Oh! It's like, why in the world? Right, we're going to move that. Now we can do it. Alright. So, there's those. And those are plenty far out to give us lots and lots of torque for some rolling. These, we're going to play with them just a little bit, and what we're going to do is we're going to end up centering them kind of further back here. They'll be still at 0 on this 0 line here. But we're going to flatten a little spot, and it's going to be recessed part of the way, and then it's going to be sticking out part of the way. Because I don't want these adjusters accidentally being used for anything else. And so I want to keep them perfectly pointed the right direction. The game likes to decide to use them for, you know, like, oh, this will apply a little bit of upward torque, so we'll pitch it instead, or like, you know, some weird thing, and then your ship is all wonky, doesn't control good. So, just a minute. Alright, I'm back. You can probably tell I was back from the fact that I was, you know, moving around, but I'm officially back now. Alright, so we're going to finish coloring this in, just because we didn't have it colored in earlier. So we're going to kind of... We're going to see if we can get the wings in the mix too. Oh yeah, so this is an issue with recoloring stuff. Forgot about that. Can't actually do it that way. Because it doesn't think I have enough material. I do have enough material to replace all of the voxels that actually exist in that selection. I do not have enough material to replace all of the voxels in an entire area that large. And so it just, like, it doesn't know what it's talking about, and it's all confused. And yes, there is a voxel there. Okay. So, do that. these, and these are rotated. So I'm gonna get our front voxel again. There we go. Alright. Come over here and swap colors. So I'll show you what this looks like if you don't. If you pretend that there's no voxel there, you end up with this little bitty sliver, or at least you should. Yeah, so I definitely did not copy this correctly. When I copied and pasted it, I clearly broke it. There actually is an additional little piece there. At least there was. So one of my concerns is that I'm not exactly sure when that piece disappeared. I'll have to figure that out. Alright, so anyway. There's clearly not a piece there now, though. There should have been a little sliver of a piece, and that piece would be a different color. It's very obviously not there now. It was actually a single voxel that kind of wrapped around here and pulled all of this stuff out to match that curve on the wing, and it's just not there. So I don't know what happened to it. But I digress. Okay, so we're gonna just start here. We're gonna go back to here. We're gonna go up to here. And I have no idea what has happened to my thingy there, but that's really weird. And again, with a not enough material thing, that's frustrating. Take the time to select an area, and then it's like, nah, not enough material. I mean, I've got 233, right? It's not like I actually don't have enough material. I actually have plenty of material, but it doesn't know I have plenty of material because it doesn't know how many voxels are there. So I get to do it in sections. So I haven't even used like a third of my material yet. Will it let me do this? Yeah, okay. It's helpful. Let me do a little bit of larger section. Maybe. Nope. The real amount of material I have, it's like it wants you to have enough material to fill the square that you're selecting. So as you run lower and lower on material, it will require you to select smaller and smaller spaces. Like that. I wish it would actually count the real amount of material that you have, but it's alright. I mean, I am running low at this point on material already. But like, I had enough to do the entire freaking back of the ship, and it's telling me not enough material. So when I select like part of it, yeah, there we go. Alright, so now we're down to doing 2 sections at a time for a little while. Across here. Oh, nope, not even 2 sections now. Into 1 section, maybe. And eventually I just don't even have enough material to do a single replace. At which point I actually have to just get more material. It is literally not worth doing them one at a time. So we made it halfway around that. Replaced kind of almost everything through there. So we're going to go back to the galvanized black and start building out some more stuff. Because we got a lot of it, we're gonna be doing highlights with it. So this is the galvanized black, and this is the polished dark gray. And it's super weird to me that the polished dark gray is significantly darker than the galvanized black. I mean, like the polished dark gray is actually almost black, and the black other stuff is kind of light colored. So I don't know, it's a little odd. But, so over here we got this this thing here that is sticking out, and we're just going to go ahead and kind of make a pad for it. And I can't see all the way up under it to do a whole lot here. But basically what I want to do is I'm going to just try to get that pixel and that voxel. And across there, which I clearly didn't do very good at. Let's try it again. There we go. Oh, we did do it right the first time. And then we're gonna delete, I guess, one more section of this. Well, actually, okay. Well, we'll fix this in a few minutes. Just like kind of everything else that I got going on. Alright, so here in a minute, I'm going to start looking at the programming for the anti-grav device, which I haven't done yet. I haven't even bothered to look. I want to be able to do it all. I'm going to do it. I don't only have to stop in the middle and do some other stuff and all that. So, I don't know. I'm not unhappy with the shape. The shape of the ship right now. I am unhappy with a couple of features about it, and so I don't like that the engines are poking out here. It's actually bugging me a lot more than I thought it would. I have a couple of ideas of how to make that look a little more like embellishments, which is partially to do with putting stabilizers on. This is super bizarre here. I don't know what's going on with that, but I need to fix that. Like, it's just awful. Big ol' hole. Okay. So, we need a cockpit, and we need a excuse me. My blood pressure medicine makes sudden tickles in throat, and it's kind of an issue. So we need a cockpit. We need to kind of wall in and do some pretty stuff on the inside. And we need to program the anti-grav device. And what else do we need to do? So I think the way that we're shaped right now is fine. I think I want to make the front shorter and higher. So I want to make it basically come out level with the top here. And I don't want to excuse me. I don't want to make it like actually higher. I want to make it fakely higher. And okay, we can still access the tank. So this is a concern in like crunchy, tight ship designs. Can you access the space fuel tank? And like, yeah, if you can jump, you can get it right here. You know, yeah, you can get it. So from back here, where all of the rest of the space tanks are, you can stand right here. And you can get it. So it is able to be filled from anywhere back here on either side of the thing. It's one of the things I don't like about making these tight designs is sometimes you end up with a ship where you just can't reach something that you need to reach. And with this ship in particular, I don't want that to happen. But that was way, by and large, the best place to put that space fuel tank. And I can also put some ports for filling from outside. I could actually put a port along where that is. It would be under the other tanks over there. So you put 3 ports in the back and then 1 port kind of front in the middle. Except that literally none of it would line up. The ports in the middle would not be middled. They would be off by 1. And that would bug me. So. Okay. So first of all, let's fiddle with the adjusters. So I want to keep them where they are, centered wise, up and down. They don't particularly matter left and right as far, front and back of the ship, and they don't matter how far out they are out this way as much. Now this does give them, being out a little further does give them a little bit more to work. I mean, just barely, because of basically you're working off the hypotenuse of a triangle. So if you're out here, you're kind of further than you would be from the same point here in a right angle. Like, so technically they are further from the center of gravity. But I actually want to move them right back to here. And so we're going to take this center line. So these things take up every bit of 8 voxels by 8 voxels. And we're going to stick them right back here on the center line. We're going to take the first one is going to stand off the center line. So it is going to stand like right there. Okay, that is the technical line. That's where the line is here, right? And so it's going to stick off that way, and then it's going to go down and back 4, or like that. So that's the first piece of it, right? And then we're actually going to erase 4 voxels in from here, and we don't have any way of doing that other than just looking at the counter in the bottom right, so I know that I'm 8 by 4. And then we just need to come out here, and we've deleted it now. And then inside, we're going to oh, I messed up. So we're gonna just undo both of those things, because this actually needs to start here because they're 8 by 8. So we're gonna start here and go down 8. Man, I went a really long way there. I'm gonna make this 8 by 8 by 1, and that's the first one. And then we're going to peel away an 8 by 8 by 1 section here. And then, nicely enough, we can actually go inside. And we're going to fill this in here. And I think this is a 6. Yep, so that's 6, and then this is 7, 8 here. Alright, and then we're just going to grab these guys, and they're going to go very nicely. I'm going to go there, and that one will go there. And then we're going to fill in the remaining space here as we move forward. Sorry for vaping in your ears. So that's I'm just kind of looking at the ship here, talking about how to find your center of gravity. We're going to talk about how much a ship can carry on wings and stuff. I'm not great, but I understand the basic mechanics of it. So I'm just trying to build my anti-grav ship here, and I thought I'd share with anybody who was curious. So we're going to do, oops, we're going to do this, and just going to grab it and go across our 8 by 8 again. And then we're going to cut out the 8 by 8 here. And there we go. Then we'll go inside and fill this right there. Alright, so now those are lined up with the center of gravity. They're a little bit further back than they were, which is going to give us a little more torque against it. And these up here are now flush with the body. So still having remaining to build the cockpit, and we're going to fill in this hole here, and we've got another one on the other side, and then we gotta work out the warp drive oddness. So the center of gravity on a warp drive is actually at one edge of the warp drive, so it's a little bit of a pain, and it's caused this to be a little too thick. So we're probably going to just run a decorative line across the middle here that will essentially cover it up. And we actually might make it tall enough to walk in because of the space fuel tank that's in hiding in there. We can see the space fuel tank from inside if we make this just a little bit taller and bring it up. So that might be an option we would have to hide the fact that the warp drive is too tall. But not quite sure yet, but that's going to impact the way that we design the. It's going to impact the way we design our cockpit. So we need to decide that, I guess, pretty soon. So we're just going to fill this in real quick, and we're gonna fix all of our materials later. Not concerned about materials right now. I'm also not concerned about making these walls in here look particularly good. It just isn't, like, to me it's an engine room, and it doesn't matter if the engine room isn't quite as smooth. I know some people really care about that sort of thing. I only care if it looks bad. I don't care if it doesn't look terrible. So it's kind of my philosophy on the engine housing area. So we'll just fill in those holes, and that voxel got actually sucked out to here, which is fine. And we're just gonna just poke something out the side of the outside of the ship. Go, and like I said, fixing materials later. Now the one concern is, you do all this and you go outside and look at it, and it's totally hosed your outside of your ship. It's no fun. So I'm gonna try to make sure that doesn't happen. Go. Alright, so those are just kind of covered up inside here for now. And they look okay. They're not fantastic, but they're not bad. And we'll run outside real quick to make sure they don't look awful outside. Didn't ram anything through or anything. And they look fine other than just being an awful color. So I'll fix that, and then just build this one in exactly the same way. Except that it'll be on the outside instead of on the inside. And actually, this is going to cause us a little bit of problems with the outside of the body, so we're going to wait to do that. We'll have to copy and paste for that to get it to come up smooth. So what we need to do is grab that and then copy it, and then without using priorities and no shift, paste it on there. And then we're actually just gonna extend it long and just repeatedly paste it here. So we don't have to do this over and over. We can just do it like this, and we can just delete the excess. left a gap there. Try that one again. And nope, gap again. We have to fill. Right, there we go. And so that prevents it from sucking these voxels out, pasting instead of putting new blocks in there. If you paste, you get nice smooth finish. I'll just go back into 7 again and kind of watch from the underneath so we know whether or not we pasted correctly. And we did not. Alright, and that filled out without messing up the smoothness of the ship at all. And just fill that area there. And that takes care of everything there. I would like to be able to fix this section here, but this actually won't. Like, this sort of pinch is pretty well unfixable. I mean, I can move this corner of the voxel, can be moved over there to sort of fix it, but it is it will require actually making a reactor, and so this is like polish that would be done at the very end of the process, just to fix little cosmetic defects like this that I'm not incredibly happy with. For now, I'm actually okay with leaving it the way it is. And then here we're just going to grab this entire thing, 1 block high, block low, copy it, so I don't have to review it, flip it around, and drop it back on the ship. I hate the way that the right and left and stuff decide to change direction on you. Alright, there we go. So that puts that on there without me having to remake it all. And of course I got like weird colors all mixed in here. It's alright. And I still have to fix the engines sticking through here and here. And I also have a terrible like little spot there that's just not working for me. Alright, there we go. Looks kind of patchwork right now, but it'll come together here in a little bit. So we are nearing completion. So this is another piece that I would fix later on. This weird little spot. So we'll fix that with the reactor, like way on down the road in the process. So trying to do like big ships like this and make them actually look super nice is a really time-consuming process if you want to get rid of every little wrinkle. Like there's a little wrinkle right there, and there'll be a matching wrinkle over here, probably. Yep, right there. And like in order to remove every single one of those wrinkles, you have to pretty much you're going to copy this voxel out of there. So whatever voxel that is, which should be the one that's like in the wall there, which I can scroll up and just copy this entire piece of the ship, and then I can paste it up here, and then I can make a copy of just that one voxel at this point. So there's a half voxel width, so we'll see if I can. Okay, that actually is the voxel. So it's a very strange beast of a voxel. It's kind of all pointy and turned inside out. And then I would need to, it actually is inside out, in case you're curious. There's a piece of it that's actually backward right there. You can see through the voxel. But we can fix those sorts of things by moving this corner right here in to be, in line basically with this corner. So what we have to do is, and this is, it's not difficult. It just, like, for every single flaw in the ship, it is very time consuming. So we're going to use our smooth voxel tool. We're going to come up here and we're going to shrink our voxel just down like that so we can kind of see what it's doing a little bit better. And then we're going to come up here and paste it at the top right of that so I can grab that point of the voxel. And I may be in the wrong spot here. Let's see. Nope. Okay. And so as you can see, it actually grabbed a kind of incorrect spot there for it. So this voxel absolutely needs to be out there. And this, it's technically all correct, right? And we need this to be rotated this way. That's the wrong way. So it needs to be rotated the other way. There we go. I think. Nope, that's not it either. That way? Yes, that way. But it's upside down. That's what's wrong. So there we go. I think that's it. And then we paste it with priority, and that moves that into. Actually, it isn't in the right spot. So we get to do a bunch more playing with it and rotating it to get it to the right location. And once we get it in the right spot, we can paste it in there, move this corner in to match that one, and then paste the whole voxel back in on top of it with priority to smooth out this one little piece of the wall that looks jagged. And what it'll do is it'll suck a corner of this voxel and this voxel all get sucked over to that point instead, and so the whole wall becomes smooth, because right now it's all messy. And so these little pieces of polish just take absolute mountains of time. So I think. Oops. Did I rotate? I can't even tell if I rotated that. The coloring is terrible here. Let me grab it and change its color so I can actually see it. So it needs flipped just directly upside down is what it needs done with it. So that's the wrong way. That's the wrong way. That's the wrong way. So nope. Nope. Actually, this will work, I think. Maybe? Yeah, okay. So helps if you don't get it in the wrong spot, though. So it needs to be there. There we go. And that'll fix that that piece of the section of the wall. Then we need to do the other side kind of the same way. So we got to grab another piece here. Go ahead and make this one a different color to start with. So, and then we'll shrink it, grab it again, copy it. Actually, I should have. Alright, I should have cut it instead of copying it. I gotta do that. So now I got that corner of it. And now I'm just gonna grab this, and it needs rotated directly upside down too. So that is that the right correct rotation? It looks like it is. Yeah, okay, so now we made a wedge out of this voxel. So then we're going to just copy that and that. And we're going to rotate it all the way around. And we're just going to paste it here without priority, so that you can grab the corners of it, shrink it down by 1, and then we've got the center voxel. And then we get to place the center voxel back into its home, which in this case is going to just absolutely explode the wall, because it's not it's going to suck like everything around it out because it's not in the right spot on the wall. But in this case, it should actually do it down here. Let's see if it'll actually work. Nope, it's gonna explode the wall. So I have to figure out a different way to smooth that one little spot there, because it's gonna want to suck everything out around it, even though it technically shouldn't. I might be able to delete just that one voxel and then copy a voxel and kind of shove it in there and paste it. Sometimes work, but usually you end up with exactly the same thing or worse whenever you do that. So it ended up worse that way. It's just a matter of like working every single little corner of it down to be the correct piece. And if you look across that wall, you can actually see that a bunch of it angles kind of down and out as it goes across there, and that's actually the point that angle starts is right there, and that's why the whole thing's messed up. So it actually has to do with filling in this floor. So it actually might be possible to fix it by recreating the section of the wall that caused it, which is actually just a copy and paste from the whole wall starting 2 blocks above it. So right there and up, and then everywhere that it's messed up across to basically there. And if we copy that and put the whole thing in with priority, it might fix it. If we do that. And yeah, that actually fixed it. So I can just rotate that to the other side. And do it again. Make sure it's actually in the right spot. So there we go. So that fixed it. So yeah, that was a matter of filling in a little section here that I couldn't fill regular, and it pulled that out. So like there's a matter of just like moving little bits and pieces of things around kind of all over the place to fix all of that. So I've got another spot right here. It's the exact same problem right here. So we'll just have to copy and paste like pretty much the entire wall across the back and move it up and replace that to get it to straighten out. But that's all kind of polish once it's all the way I want it to look and to work. So right now I want to get the chair back out. I'm just going to set the chair on top in the middle. And I want to check the rotation and make sure I like the way it rotates now. Make sure it's not like going to do anything funny. And I need landing gear at some point too for this. There we go. Let's pop it up off the ground a little bit. We're gonna hold the brake. Oh yeah, the rotation's much faster. And I can stop rotating without. It's not like trying to pitch over on me. Roll. It's actually staying nice and level in the rotation. So that's what you want. You don't want it to be kind of tipping over and doing all kinds of funny, weird, doing this number whenever you're trying to turn and it's trying to flip over on you. It just kind of sucks. So that'll do nicely. I notice there's a pinched looking spot all the way across here, and I'm wondering if it's it's under here too. It's kind of an interesting little artifact. It's there's not actually a line there, I don't think. It extends from this, and then like the reflection catches it in metal. But that's okay. I don't mind it. I'm gonna have to do something with this little piece right here. It's another like reactor fix. Gotta kind of mess with it and poke it. Sorry for vaping in your ears. I try not to do that. So, yep, you can have your baby. Alright, so it's time to actually attach a cockpit, I think, to this. So I'm still a little undecided, but it's got to be done. Like, I gotta make a decision and do something. So let's clean. I'm not in build mode, that's why it's not. It's like, why can't I select anything? All right. So get rid of that stuff. So I think I'm going to go with the option of bringing a piece up from here. But I think we're going to have a really hard time doing it the way that I want it to kind of look. I just think it's going to be a little bit tough. We're going to see what we can do. Probably going to end up using the line tool a lot for this. And hope that it turns out good. Hope. So what I want to end up with then, if I'm going to do that way, I want my, I want to figure out where I want to put my pilot seat, right? So I would like this floor to be basically halfway up. So realistically, like you can see just barely under the boxes right here. Just barely see under the boxes. Just barely see over the boxes because the boxes are kind of centered. So the floor then would sit at 0 for this. And I want it to just be about probably come out about this wide to like right there. I'm going to drop the chair for a minute. So, actually, yeah, I think maybe there. All right, so we're going to drop this block down to the minus 0.5, and this will be like the floor area of the entire thing. So right now we're at x 31.5, and we're going across to minus 31.5 then. So right there. And that should be the other end of this line. And we accidentally used brown because I don't know. Because it was what we had selected accidentally. So let's get rid of that. And then we want the end to have kind of almost the same angle as this, both in kind of the slope that it has and the slope both directions. You better lay down. She's back there laughing. All right, so let's do let's see how many in and how many out do we go here. So this kind of starts here, and so we go basically it is a 32 across, 44 long, and 5 tall. So 32, 44, 5 is the dimensions of that. So we're going to go 32 across from here, which is actually the entire distance. And then we're going to go 44 out. Just right there. And then we're just going to go up the 5, which is actually right there. Right there. Alright, and that is the actual slope that the back end has. Is that same slope there. So if I replicate that to the top using the same height as what I have here, which is 18 tall. So I put 19 blocks on top of this. 19. So we would have a piece that is that tall, and then it would essentially just point off to here. And I think that's going to look kind of super bizarre. I think it's way too pointy. So we'll grab our line tool and I'll actually make the line to there if it'll let us. And I am lagging super hard as soon as I pull that line tool out. So, and it didn't really like the line, but it did it. So that's the angle, and we had a little bit of glitchiness in the line before. It's nothing that can't be fixed. But what we're going to do is we're going to pull this back a little bit. I'll actually cut it off probably here. Let's kind of look. There's a good clean spot to cut it off right there. So I think that would look better. Realistically, kind of thinking here, because I don't know. Quite what I want here yet. So kind of just framing it up and seeing what it will look like. I would have another line that's going to come down from that and basically come in here-ish. It'll need to be a little higher than that. So if we pull it over, actually put it in the center. Is this a problem with not enough material? Okay. Alright, so we're going to have to grab some more material, and we're out of sync, which is always nice. So when I go into build mode, I can see stuff that I can't see in out of build mode. So I think honestly the better solution here for being able to see actually what this is going to do is to put the full wall in. So it'll look kind of like that, except not quite. It's actually a nice little twisty wall. And then a single wall coming from here that's trippy. This single wall would go basically across there, which kind of nixes part of that wall. So let's see if we can do better. Let's go from there and go up to here. So when it's yellow, it's telling me that it doesn't think it can do what I'm asking for. So there's blue. So from over here, and this is kind of what that's going to look like. And I don't like it. It looks weird. And it increases the cross section quite a bit for no apparent reason with that raised like that. Because it is raised quite a bit higher than the tail. It's almost 8 blocks taller. I mean, it's kind of a neat shape, but it's just not what I'm looking for. And so let's go undo on that. We'll go back to wireframe mode here. So if we come out this way instead, go to here. We're still increasing the cross section. So let's not do any of this. I mean, I don't want it to look like a turtle, right? Like, if I wanted it to look like a turtle, I'd erase the back. And it is going to kind of look like a turtle. In which case, we might as well make it green and put some shell decoration on it, because kind of looks like a sea turtle. So then probably the best way to accommodate this warp drive being out of place is just going to be to put in a little ledge like this right here, across, just fill the whole thing in. Seriously, you can't do this. It doesn't know how to build anything. Okay. So we'll do it with this then. And just stretch it across. Do it again. Put the same angle on it. Then come over here and just rotate. Cut. And for some reason it's not gonna allow me to cut any more off, which is awful nice of it. So we can fix that problem. Just need to make it one block taller. Same thing. And so at this point, the angle that we're making is a proper right angle, which means that it will actually allow us to delete it. Usually. We're just going to screw the edge all up. So we'll have to work on that. See if it actually gets any of the angles right. No, it's really not liking any of those angles. So what I can do probably is make one nice clean one and just copy it. I think I see why it's not doing nice clean angles, but we'll just overrule the better judgment of the system. And so that is actually a texture wrapping problem. It's not actually cut out. Like, it's actually there. It's just wrapped weird. So let's continue on around. Okay, so this one's not wanting to cooperate. And that actually is an issue with it rounding it, I think. Can't tell. Hard to tell. It actually looks sharpish. I can't really tell. One of the ways that I can ensure that it is properly doing my angle is just to do the whole angle. Which is definitely just not liking. Like, it likes them over here. On this side, they look great. On the other side, they look sloppy. It's gotta have to do with that top piece of the angle. That isn't filled in there. So I wonder if I can fix that easily. So you can see it's like pulled all in weird. Still wanting to pull all in weird.